Welcome back to the Dinar Daily. We are glad you are here, but today we have to set aside the usual market updates to discuss a situation that is becoming critical for everyone in this community. There is a specific and dangerous trend emerging right now that threatens to undermine everything you have been waiting for, and it is imperative that we talk about it openly. As we move closer to what many anticipate will be a significant year in 2025, the level of noise and activity surrounding the Iraqi dinar has reached a fever pitch. While enthusiasm is generally a positive force, in this instance it has attracted a predatory element that is actively seeking to exploit your patience and your hopes. What we are about to discuss is not merely a rumor or a piece of casual speculation. It is a serious warning regarding the safety of your assets. If you are holding currency and waiting for a future valuation change, you are currently a target. For some of the most sophisticated financial scams we have ever seen in this space, the landscape of currency scams has evolved dramatically in recent months, moving far beyond the poorly written emails or obvious hoaxes of the past. Today, scammers are operating with a level of professionalism and technological capability that can fool even the most experienced individuals. They are capitalizing on the growing excitement about a potential revaluation in 2025 to create intricate traps that look and feel entirely legitimate. These bad actors are establishing fake exchange centers that exist both in the digital world and, disturbingly, in physical locations. They are building sophisticated websites, creating official-looking documents, and utilizing the branding of major financial institutions to build a facade of trust. Their goal is not just to confuse you, but to steal your money, your identity, and the very investment you have protected for years. It is vital that we dissect exactly how these operations work so you can spot them before it is too late. That we need to examine the specific mechanisms these scammers use because their methods are designed to bypass your natural skepticism. One of the most common tactics being reported right now involves the creation of fraudulent exchange portals that mimic the appearance of well-known banks. You might encounter
a website or a mobile application that uses the exact color schemes, logos and fonts of institutions like Chase, Wells Fargo, or even the Central Bank of Iraq. To the untrained eye, these platforms look remarkably authentic. Complete with security badges and professional graphic design, they often use names that sound authoritative, such as Global Currency Redemption or World Bank Exchange Portal, names that imply a direct connection to international finance. However, it is crucial to understand that these are entirely fabricated entities designed to harvest your data. No major bank or central authority is currently operating a private exchange portal for the dinar, and any site claiming to offer such a service is inherently fraudulent. The psychological manipulation at play here is just as dangerous as the technological deception. Scammers understand that many holders of the Iraqi dinar have been waiting for years, often facing criticism or doubt from friends and family. They exploit this emotional investment by offering validation in the form of exclusive news or early access. You might receive a direct message on a platform like Telegram, WhatsApp, or Facebook claiming that you have been selected for a special tier of exchange. These messages often use insider terminology, referencing Tier 1 or Tier 2 exchanges, non-disclosure agreements, and contract rates. They frame the interaction as a secret opportunity that is only available to a select group of savvy investors. By making you feel special and in the know, they lower your defenses. It is essential to remember that legitimate international currency events do not happen in secret chat rooms or through private messages on social media. They are public, global events. Let's break down the typical life cycle of one of these scams so you can recognize the pattern if you ever encounter it. It almost always begins with a hook designed to create urgency and excitement. You might be told that the revaluation has already happened behind closed doors and that a specific window is open for you to exchange your currency at a high rate before the general public knows. This creates a fear of missing out, compelling you to act quickly without verifying the information. Once you engage with them, the next step is data collection. They will ask you to register for this exclusive opportunity by providing sensitive personal information. This often includes your full legal name, copies of your passport or driver's license, bank account numbers, and even the specific serial numbers of the dinar notes you hold. At this stage, even if no money has changed hands, you are already a victim of identity theft. Once they have captured your personal information, the scam moves to the financial extraction phase. This is where the advance fee fraud comes into play. The scammers will inform you that your exchange has been approved. But there is a bureaucratic hurdle that must be cleared before the funds can be released. They might claim you need to pay a processing fee, a tax clearance charge, a bank verification fee, or a security deposit. They will often ask for this payment via difficult-to-trace methods like cryptocurrency or wire transfers. Because the victim believes a massive payout is imminent, a fee of a few hundred or even a few $1,000s seems like a small price to pay. However, once that money is sent, it is gone forever. There is no exchange, there are no funds waiting, and the scammers will simply vanish or invent new fees until the victim stops paying. The sophistication of these groups extends to the physical world as well, which is a terrifying development. For many, there have been reports of scammers renting short-term office spaces near actual bank branches to create the illusion of legitimacy. They may invite victims to an in-person meeting to verify their currency. In these scenarios, victims are sometimes given counterfeit receipts or documents that look like official bank instruments. In the worst-case scenarios, individuals are asked to hand over their physical currency for safekeeping or authentication prior to the exchange. This is a critical red flag. Under no circumstances should you ever hand over your currency to a private individual or an unofficial entity. A legitimate bank will only handle your currency at a teller window during a formal transaction that you initiate, not during a private meeting in a rented office. The digital versions of these scams are equally pervasive, particularly through the use of mobile applications. Scammers are developing apps that claim to track the real-time value of your investment or manage your exchange queue. These apps often contain malware or spyware designed to compromise your device. By installing these unverified applications, you may be giving bad actors access to your passwords, your contacts, and your mobile banking apps. The allure of having a dedicated app to manage your dinar investment is strong, but you must realize that the Central Bank of Iraq and major Western banks have not released any such applications for this purpose. If an app is not available on the official Apple or Google Play stores and published by a verified financial institution, it is a significant security risk to download it. To protect yourself, it is fundamental to understand what the actual process of a revaluation would look like, devoid of the internet rumors. The Central Bank of Iraq has been working methodically on modernizing its financial sector, a fact that is documented in public records. This includes integrating with the SWIFT system, reducing inflation, and building foreign reserves. When and if a currency revaluation occurs, it will be a result of these macroeconomic factors, and it will be announced through official, public channels. It will not be a secret whispered in a dark corner of the internet. The announcement will be broadcast by the Central Bank of Iraq, picked up by major financial news outlets like Bloomberg and Reuters, and acknowledged by global bodies such as the IMF. Until you see that level of public confirmation, any private claim of a rate change is false. The role of major commercial banks in this process is another area where misinformation is rampant. Many scammers claim to have special partnerships with banks like Chase, HSBC, or Citi to facilitate these secret exchanges. It is important to clarify that while these banks deal in foreign currency every day, they operate under strict regulatory frameworks. They cannot and will not exchange a currency at a value that does not officially exist on the global market. If a bank teller or manager tells you they cannot exchange your dinar at a high rate today, that is the truth. If a stranger on the internet tells you that the bank is lying and that you need to go through their special contact at the bank, they are lying. Banks do not have secret backdoors for retail investors. They follow the live market rates that are visible to everyone. We must also address the concept of non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, which are frequently cited in these scam narratives. The idea that a retail currency holder would need to sign a government-level NDA to exchange currency at a bank is largely a fabrication of these fraudulent groups. In the world of high finance, NDAs are for mergers, acquisitions, and corporate dealings, not for simple currency exchanges at a teller window. The scammers use the concept of the NDA to enforce silence. By telling you that you are under a strict non-disclosure agreement, they prevent you from asking for advice, talking to your family, or verifying the transaction with a lawyer. This enforced isolation is a tactical move to keep you from discovering the truth until they have stolen your money. Government agencies in the United States and abroad are keenly aware of these fraudulent activities. The FBI, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the U.S. Treasury have all issued various alerts regarding foreign currency exchange fraud. They have noted a rise in schemes that promise unrealistic returns or claim to have inside information on Iraqi economic policy. These agencies have made it clear that there are no authorized private exchange programs sanctioned by the U.S. or Iraqi governments. When you engage with these unauthorized groups, you are stepping outside the protection of the law. If you send money to these entities, especially via cryptocurrency or wire transfer to offshore accounts, the chances of recovery are virtually non-existent. The authorities can only do so much. Your primary defense is your own vigilance. The risk of identity theft in these scenarios cannot be overstated, as it often causes more long-term damage than the immediate financial loss. When you provide your passport details, bank account information, and social security number to a scammer, you are handing them the keys to your financial life. These criminals can use your data to open fraudulent credit lines, take out loans in your name, or sell your information on the dark web to other criminal enterprises. Even if you realize it is a scam before you send the money, if you have already filled out their registration forms, you must take immediate steps to freeze your credit and monitor your accounts. The collection of data is often just as valuable to them as the cash they try to extract from you. It is also helpful to understand why these scams are so effective. They target your emotions. The wait for the Iraqi dinar to revalue has been long, and for many, it represents a ticket to financial freedom or a way to help their families. Scammers study this community. They know the language you use, the hopes you hold, and the frustrations you feel. They craft their scripts to resonate with that specific emotional frequency. When they say, "Your wait is finally over," they are triggering a chemical response in your brain that overrides logical thinking. Recognizing that your own excitement is a vulnerability is the first step in building a defense. When you feel that rush of adrenaline from a too-good-to-be-true offer, that is the exact moment you need to pause and step back. Let's talk about verification, which is your most powerful tool against these deceptions. Before you engage with any information, you must verify the source. If a website claims to be the Central Bank of Iraq, check the URL carefully against the known official domain. If a message claims to be from a specific bank, call that bank using a public number listed on the back of your debit card, never the number provided in the message, and ask for the foreign currency department. Ask them plainly if such a program exists. If they say no, believe them. Do not let a stranger on the internet convince you that the bank staff is uninformed or hiding the truth. The bank staff follows the current legal operational guidelines. The stranger on the internet is trying to rob you. Another critical aspect of the official process is the transparency of the banking environment. When the revaluation occurs, it will be a standard banking transaction. You will not need to know a secret code. You will not need to belong to a specific Telegram group, and you will not need to pay a fee to reserve your spot. The banking system is designed to handle volume. While there may be appointments required, due to high demand, these will be made through official bank websites or customer service lines. The narrative that you need to pay a gatekeeper to get access to the bank is a complete lie. The global financial system wants liquidity. They will want your business. There will be no need to bribe your way to the teller counter. We also need to discuss the role of gurus and intel providers in this ecosystem. While many content creators share news and analysis in good faith, the comment sections in private groups associated with these channels are hunting grounds for scammers. Be very wary of anyone in a comment section who claims to have successfully exchanged or who directs you to a specific agent who helped them. These are often bot accounts or shill accounts created by the scammers to manufacture social proof. Just because you see 5 different accounts praising a specific exchange manager does not mean the person is real. It is a coordinated marketing attack designed to make you feel safe in proceeding with a scam. If you encounter one of these scams, your reaction should be swift and decisive. Do not engage with them to see what happens. Do not try to outsmart them. Simply block the sender, report the account to the platform administrator, and delete the message. If you have unfortunately already shared personal information, contact your bank immediately, place a fraud alert on your credit files, and file a report with your local consumer protection agency or the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. Reporting these incidents helps authorities track the scope of these criminal networks and can potentially save others from falling victim to the same scheme. The modernization of Iraq's financial infrastructure is a real and ongoing process, and it is important to keep your focus on that reality rather than the fantasy spun by scammers. The country is making strides in electronic payments, connecting to international systems and stabilizing its economy. These are the metrics that matter. This progress is slow, bureaucratic, and public. It is not a Hollywood movie plot involving secret treaties and midnight rendezvous. By grounding your expectations in the reality of economic development, you make yourself immune to the sensationalist lies of the scammers. Real economic change takes time, and it happens in the light of day, monitored by the entire world. Patience is often cited as the greatest virtue for an investor, but in this context, patience is literally a safety mechanism. The scammers rely on your impatience. They rely on your fatigue. They want you to be so tired of waiting that you will jump at the first shadow that looks like an open door. By deciding firmly that you will only move when the official, verified announcements are made on the global stage, you strip the scammers of their power. You essentially remove yourself from their target list because their tactics only work on those who are willing to bypass the official system. If you stick to the main road, the trap set in the bush cannot hurt you. It is worth reiterating that the legitimate revaluation of a national currency is a sovereign act that impacts the global economy. It involves trade agreements, diplomatic notifications, and adjustments to international exchange rate mechanisms. It is impossible for such an event to happen secretly for a select group of people while the rest of the world operates on the old rake. The global markets are interconnected. If the dinar had a new value, it would be visible on forex screens in Tokyo, London, and New York instantly. The narrative of a private value that is different from the public value is economically incoherent and is used solely to justify the scammers' requests for upfront fees. As we navigate this period of heightened anticipation, community awareness becomes our collective shield. We have a responsibility to look out for one another. If you see someone in an online forum asking about a special offer they received, speak up. Warn them about the red flags we have discussed today. Share the knowledge that official exchanges do not require upfront money or private data transfers. The scammers thrive in silence and isolation. We defeat them with open communication and shared facts. By spreading this warning, you are not just protecting your own investment. You are helping to safeguard the financial future of thousands of others who share your hopes. The upcoming period may bring more rumors and more sophisticated attempts to deceive you. We can expect deep fake videos, AI-generated voice messages, and even more convincing fake documents as technology advances. However, the core truth remains unchanged. The Central Bank of Iraq and your local regulated bank are the only two entities that matter in this equation. If the news does not come from them, directly and publicly, it is noise. Do not let the noise distract you from the fundamental safety rules of finance. Your security is paramount and no potential gain is worth the risk of handing your identity over to a criminal organization. To summarize the stance you should take: stay calm, stay skeptical, stay safe. The journey you have been on with the Iraqi dinar has been a marathon, not a sprint. Do not trip at the finish line because someone offered you a shortcut that does not exist. When the time comes for a real change in value, it will be undeniable. It will be on every news channel, every banking website, and every official government feed. You will be able to walk into your bank with your head held high and conduct your business with the full protection of the law. Until that day arrives, keep your personal information private, keep your wallet closed to fees, and keep your eyes on verified sources. Thank you for spending this time with the Dinar Daily to address this crucial security matter. We know this isn't the exciting news of a rate change that everyone wants to hear, but it is the information you need to ensure you still have your investment when that day finally comes. We are committed to bringing you the truth, even when it is a warning rather than a celebration. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can keep you updated with factual, verified information. Share this video with your friends and family who hold dinar. It might be the most valuable thing you do for them today. Stay safe out there, and we will see you in the next update.